Hi guys, it's very early in the morning and Spirit woke me up. Well, I was already awake, but barely. And the last thing I was thinking about was making a video, but um, they started giving me messages and I started writing them down, which is something I need to do because it just helps me. I think it'll help me to keep me on track because I have a tendency to go off. You know, I should say that when I was 8 years old, I got meningitis, and I was like, they told my mom I was like an hour away from death. If she would have waited any longer to bring me to the hospital, it would have been too late. And that was a very long ordeal. I was in there for 2 weeks, but I made it. But unfortunately, a lot of things, there were a lot of repercussions from that. Um, Up until like the age of like 18, I would get really severe migraines, really, really bad migraines. They would just, I light, sound, anything, just I could hear a pin drop. And that was going on for the longest time. Spirit is telling me right now that that needed to happen in order to um, bring out my gifts even more, because before that, I really didn't realize that my guides and stuff like that, maybe I felt like it was an imaginary friend, but I knew it was real to me. It doesn't make sense, but they were just my friends who came and they were real to me. Anyway, but when I turned 8, and I had meningitis, I started getting really bad headaches and memory loss. And there was a lot of other things that could have happened. And because I'm blessed, God spared me those things, but it messes with my short-term memory. But there's some things that I could remember like verbatim. I can remember the exact words the person said. I can remember the color they were wearing, and from like early. I mean, and a lot of these memories are starting to come back to me now that I've been almost about a couple of years on a healing health journey. I've been discovering so much more about myself every day, and it's so good. It's beautiful. If you're on a journey, a spiritual journey, I'm telling you, it's work. It is work, but it is so good. It is so enjoyable. It is so enjoyable. When those miracles come up, and you just know that that was a wink from God. Oh, so good. So good. Anywho, see, that's how I get off track. So I told you about the meningitis thing. Um, yeah, but it did make everything much more intense at that point. But it became anxiety. I became overstimulated by anything. Even if I didn't have a headache, it was just naturally, I'm always anxious. And that's just my baseline. I'm starting now to believe that it just has to do with the fact that I just so connected to spirit on a regular basis. I mean, I do have low vibe moments like everybody else because I am human, but I try to bring myself back to the beauty of life, but it's very difficult. Um, Very, very difficult. I've gone through a lot, and if you keep coming around, I'll tell you bits and pieces more. But now, back to the message. They said, okay, let's see. Okay, so the question about source, right? I was under the assumption when people said source, that source was like another name they used for God. Because for me, God just doesn't, and this is just for me, how I feel. I feel like the name God, it just doesn't do what God makes me feel. You know what I mean? Like that word God doesn't resonate. It's not big enough. It's not, So anyway, so I figured that source, like I said, I just woke up. So, whatever. Anywho, yeah, like I thought that that's what it was. But anyways, so, and then there was so many other words, all, and things like that. I love right now. I just am vibing with divine, the divine. It's just the divine. He's like, because you have to love your divine, yeah, and like having a relationship with your God. Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. And you need it, especially in these days and times. Please, I'm telling y'all, just get on the bandwagon. And I'm not going to be judgmental, okay? But if there's people out there who are seeing this message, who are saying you go to church and you're a deacon or whatever, and that's beautiful. I love going to church. I don't go to church all the time, but I love going to church. I love the feeling of the music, and I like getting a message from someone, because you can be a psychic or whatever you are, but there's so many people who have said that they can't read themselves. It's very difficult. I mean, I read for myself, but it's very difficult. They're only going to tell you what is for your best good. And that's how I read. I will make suggestions, but I never want to stoke any fear. I recently made a post talking about March 20th through the 22nd, and I said, stay home. And I still say stay home or spend time with family, loved ones, telling people you love them, doing artwork with the kids. If you have a pool and you live in a hot climate or something, like get in the pool, like, you know what I mean? Make it fun, make it family, make it community, make it love, okay? Don't worry what's going out in this world right now. Because if you're finding this message, you are fine. If you're part of my community, you want to be a part of my community, I welcome you. I will pray every day. And they just told me, don't need to go to anybody. If a psychic tells you that you need to give them money to pray and you got something over you and all of this other stuff, please, okay, use your discernment. Discernment is very important. We'll talk about that another time. But I'm talking to you because, see, nobody told me these things. This is why I want to make this channel, because I want to teach, but I also want people to teach me, because it's all flooding back to me like in a big thing, and sometimes it's just so overwhelming. But if I know I have a community out there and I can like bounce off questions with them and get what their feedback is. Never take anybody's word. Listen here, but mostly listen here. That's where God is. Look, I love you guys. I want to leave you on this. So I can't fix this here. Source is actually, they said, source is, sorry, they're making fun of me. It's always good, all good. Okay, source is in God. We get the information, it's source, like the Akashic records. The source is a deeply beautiful and wonderful thing where we get all of our information. And love and healing. There's so many things in source. So I could see why people would call it God. But God is something we could never put in any box or any categorization or whatever their name. Let your mind wander. Ask God, let me see you. Let me experience you. And then tell me what happens. Let me know. And lastly, before I go, I've been instructed to stop calling myself psychic or medium or channel, which I am. But I've been told that I am an earth angel. Do with that what you may.